Okay.
Game.
Good evening and good day, everyone. This is episode number 24 of Who the Heck Are We? And we are only three people today because Jay De La Cruz is on duty with the ongoing PBA bubble. So he is exhausting his voice, calling all the substitutions and all the fouls. But as he talks about all of those, the three of us, Claudia Perrine, Claro Manzano, and yours truly, Lance Fernandez, will talk about NBA basketball. And it just so happened that episode 24 and 24 is, of course, Kobe Bryant's number. So we are going to discuss what happened with the NBA draft. But more importantly, we are going to talk about all of the deals that have happened since a very frantic week, or let's say even 3 days, not even a week or a day or two, with all of the transactions happening, teams trying to improve and teams trying to bolster their rosters in hopes of doing better next season and hopefully win a championship. So Claudia and Claro, for the past 2 weeks or like 4 weeks pa nga yata, we've been talking about football. We've had our guests. We'd like to thank our guests, all of our guests, Matthew Nieras and of course Jovin Bedic and OJ Porteria. And now we focus on basketball given that the PFL season is over and UCFC won the title. And we shift to basketball because first things first, it's a short off season. So parang
Yep.
pinatulog mo lang yung players.
Then back.
Yung especially for the playoff teams, parang pinababa mo lang yung bag, pinatulog mo lang saglit, tapos pinag-pack mo ulit ng bag, tapos pinaalis mo. It's one of the shortest off seasons nga yata eh. So, what do you think will be like the effect of having a short off season for these players, especially the playoff teams?
I
Hmm.
think that's less time to recover, especially for Miami and the LA Lakers. Maybe if you were eliminated in the first round, I think that was ample time. We saw some players in their online updates that they're on vacation here and there, visiting family and friends on the different side of the USA. So I think those guys are rested. They should have the advantage early on, maybe.
Well, they're professional, right? I think the ones that's gonna be really tired, or I siguro after the buzzer sounded, when the Lakers won, the one that really needs rest is Jimmy Butler. I mean, he played like what, almost 48 minutes the game, and you could see he was very tired. No, but these guys are professional. They take care of their bodies. It's a short off season. The season starts in December 22, but they could always have the thing called the load management, so they don't have to play their starters that strong at the start of the season. No?
Mhm.
Malakas naman ng Lakers and the Miami to reach the playoff or at least in the middle of the season. Yeah, but I think they'll cope.
I guess
Yeah.
the preference to the playoff teams, scheduled them later in the season
Yeah,
and the upcoming season. But of all the players naman it's only LeBron James who really voiced out his complaint with that
of
emoji.
course, of course.
Always his vote is like times 10 as compared to any other player. Pero it's settled eh. The players, the union and the NBA management already agreed. So December 22, napakabilis. We are going to have NBA basketball again.
Finally, like after the PBA, because December 13, tapos na yung PBA, 1 week after that, NBA na. So, basketball never stops.
Basketball
Yeah.
never stops. Then well, up until next year, we don't know if when the UAAP will start. So
Yes.
kita mo yung kalendaryo ng basketball hindi talaga natatapos. And before we go to our main topics tonight, let me just say na Jimmy Butler is winning the offseason also because of anyway.
Yeah, super. I love the guy.
he did well in the bubble and outside of it. So blessed man. He's a blessed man, I
I
work
guess.
love him.
life
He's funny. Yeah.
work life balance. Yeah, he's a funny guy. You see all
He,
these things.
and he had a
He's
haircut, right?
First
had a hair.
haircut out of the bubble.
Yeah.
Yes.
continuing his business in the bubble. So
Yeah,
he's
the
not
coffee.
player, he's an entrepreneur also, budding one at that. So,
Mhm.
okay, let's proceed with our main topic for tonight. So, first, we are going to talk about the NBA draft. So, 60 players have heard their names called
Hmm?
by, of course, Commissioner Adam Silver and Deputy Commissioner Mark Tatum.
Mm.
So, who do you think is the team, or which team do you think did well in terms of this?
Mm.
That's tough. But
Did
I
well
know
in
that
terms of
some
like team or by the because of their pick they became stronger.
Yeah, in terms of the pick.
Mm.
some guys slid down the draft too, we could say.
Yeah, that prospect, Avidja slipped to number 9 in Washington. He was
Yun.
projected top 5 yata eh. Ayan.
Yeah.
So yeah, pero for me to just to keep the ball rolling, I am really fascinated with that James Wiseman pick by Golden State
Yeah.
because uh he is coming into an environment wherein he's not pressured to score. He will, he can, but with having a Steph Curry and of course having a Draymond Green and some of their players there also, parang he'll be asked to focus on defending the rim,
Mhm.
the interior. So if he turns out to be the prospect that he is, parang Golden State will prolong their dynasty for let's say like 3 to 5 years pa. So they'll
Yeah.
be with contenders for the title just because of that one draft.
How tall is he again? 7'1"?
7-1.
Mm.
Yeah.
Pero
And now that you mention,
mm,
he's also an elite rim protector. So
Yeah.
at least you have that big man who supposedly he'll be able to back up Steph and Clay if let's say that he was fit to participate in this season, but unfortunately he's not. But the thing with Wiseman is that is entering now, he's gonna be a liability on the ISO. If he's gonna have to guard smaller players on the mismatch. So yun ang downside niya. But his shooting daw, pwede na as a shooter based on what we're seeing and reading.
Yeah, he could shoot the threes down. He could shoot the
Yeah,
threes. Yeah.
yeah. It's not
yeah,
like super shooter, but he's
mhm.
there.
Like if you give him 10 shots, he'll drain like probably three, max four. So
But
at
that's
least,
good for a big man, huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
good
That's
for.
quite
Yeah,
decent,
good
yes.
for a big man.
So that would help again. That would help Golden State stretch the floor and create lanes for like Curry and their slashers inside to
Mm.
penetrate. So if all works well, that is a scary predicament for the rest of the NBA.
Was he slated to be second choice, ba? Or I think he was slated to be top three, right? One of the
Yeah,
three.
one of the three.
Yeah.
Because there are some mock drafts na speculate that even Lamelo Ball will go number 1 to Minnesota.
Yes.
But we'll get into
Correct.
Yeah,
later.
yeah. Sige, sige, sige.
It's a toss up between Edwards, Lamelo, and Wiseman for the
Man, yeah.
3 spots, and then everybody else is jumbled afterwards. And so
Correct, correct, correct.
we mentioned si Anthony Edwards, number 1 draft choice.
Mm-hmm.
Parang isn't it like a redundancy for Minnesota because of all the guards that they
I
have?
was just gonna say they still have D'Angelo, di ba? D'Angelo
Angelo, and then they had Ricky Rubio
Rico
from
Rubio. Yeah, bumalik si Rico Rubio. Yeah.
so
Dami na.
The thing I read about Anthony Edwards was his passion for the game. Now, there's an article going around saying that he doesn't even watch basketball, and then that if he was given a chance to go to American Gridiron, which is American football, he would because he was a running back. He was a running back prior to becoming a basketball player, and that's what the scouts were saying. That his passion towards basketball is not there because he doesn't watch it, and
Mm-hmm.
given the chance, he would move to American Gridiron, and he's called the Ant Man, diba? He's called the Ant Man because
Marvin,
apparently he was short. Yeah,
who's that guy in Letran? They call him that first.
Mark
Mark Cruz.
Mark Cruz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was about to say Marvin Cruz.
Marvin
Throwback
Cruz,
UP.
brother. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yun.
that's my I know that's the what the scouts were saying about Anthony Edwards.
Mhm.
Was that
Now
he
that
love for the game. So
now that you say that,
yeah.
that can affect him maybe in the long run. Maybe after X number of years, maybe let's just say guess, maybe after 3 years or so, oh maybe I'm out. Because
Yeah.
that passion sometimes is what pushes you. The usual working harder, doing the usual extra work or an extra hour when everyone's gone. It
Yes.
changes your mentality. But the thing with Edward, he said, is I think his body's fine. The problem is he's a liability on defense,
Yeah.
lack of effort. So what enters my head here is like James Harden getting lost on defense with the switches. And then the reckless shots now. He can get reckless
That's what they
with
say. Yeah.
his decision making. But he has the tools. So yan ang kailangan, fine tuning, and he'll pan out to the hype of being a first overall pick. And now that you mention Minnesota is loaded, normally when you're a top pick, maybe top 1 to 3 or 1 to 5, you're expected to start already because you're
Yeah.
that guy who's supposed to change the franchise.
That's
But
right.
I don't know, an example, see Darko. He
He
was in a
didn't-
loaded team. He didn't get to develop, so he was out. And bust, unfortunately, is a term that's somewhat synonymous with him. Sad to say.
But uh there's a lot of number one picks that were, you know, bust,
Oh
right?
yeah, we start with Kwame Brown, right?
Tommy Brown, Greg Oden, uh
Michael Olawakandi,
Ayun,
Michael Ola. Oh my
the
god.
clips.
Steve
Yeah. And
Biko.
the one during Michael Jordan's what his name's the
His
one of my
batch.
He was second. Olajuwon was number one.
Sam
Yeah,
his name Sam.
Went to Portland number two, and then Jordan three.
Yes, okay, yeah, that's why. Oh well, Elijah wants the great. You know,
Yeah,
he's
but
yeah,
if
the
took
dream. No,
for Jordan, so and you didn't pan out, so you consider yourself a bust. So
yeah, that's true. Also, yeah,
yeah. The teams then they were drafting based on their needs.
yes.
yeah,
Oh, we have a guard, we have the first pick. Okay, so let's just get the next best center. But things have changed now. Teams will draft based on talent, and they
on
will build.
potential. Actually, that's what they're saying.
Yun.
They'll pick on potential, not on need, and
Yeah,
that changes a lot. That
yeah.
changes a lot, right?
The pecking order is somewhat displays the individual rankings of the players. But then again, the rankings are not also accurate. It's just that mentality has changed in building that team. Okay, so this guy, the best guy is a point guard. So we're gonna restructure, rebuild our team around this guy, the new face of the franchise. Unlike before, nga.
That's you. But speaking of potential and talent, draft number 4, which is the Chicago Bulls, they drafted an unknown, or that not really, he's known, Patrick Williams. They could have gotten Tyrese Halliburton, Obi Topin. Diba? Am I saying his right name right? Obi Topin. They could have
Yeah,
gotten him. And then the guy from Israel, uh, what's it?
FDA.
Danny Advida. Yeah, I mean, the Chicago Bulls probably drafted their need, not on potential. I don't know, because I was also a bit shocked that they got this Patrick Williams.
Yeah, I guess Williams to some extent. Parang siya yung compliment kay Markkanen eh. Kasi Markkanen is
Mm.
your like scorer, like your Dirk Nowitzki prototype, but you have to have somebody who does the dirty work. And in comes Patrick Williams. So I guess that's the dynamic that Chicago is looking at. That's why they drafted him instead of the others. And yeah, I have to allude to both of you that general managers nowadays, they always look at what's next. They don't
Mm-hmm.
base, okay, they pick somebody, but they're always one or two steps forward. Like, what can I do with this guy? So they can already project na, can I get like 3 or 5 good years from him?
Mm-hmm.
Or is he like a career starter? So they can somehow project already.
Mm.
That's why, just like what Claro mentioned, parang ano na eh, it's not really a building block, but more of a chess piece when you draft right now. So
Yeah,
possibly the number one draft choice is more of a chess piece rather than a building block for Minnesota. Maybe he'll turn out well, and then if he does turn out well, then other teams will call the Timberwolves and is this guy available? So ano,
Mm-hmm.
parang napoproject na nila na siguro after a few seasons, teams will be interested with how
And
he will turn out. But then again, he has to play. And with the loaded roster, parang hirap hanapan ng lugar, especially with all the guards that they have, kung saan mo ilalagay yung playing time niya.
yeah, and he
So
needs playing. Yeah.
extreme worst case, Madarko.
In the extreme, he'll be well, yeah,
Who is
or
so
he gets traded. Or
Oh,
gets traded. Wait,
just
can they get traded? The first picks?
I think
They
after
can,
a
right?
while, no.
get traded
After a while, puede.
1 year yata eh.
2 years, right? 2 years or
Ah,
a year?
2 years, yeah. May ganun yatang ano eh, rule.
Just to remind you guys also, it's the Timberwolves, right? The first pick. And I want to remind you guys,
Kevin
the
Garnett.
no, not even that. This
Oh,
is no, KG is the upside.
okay.
The Timberwolves had two chances to pick Steph Curry, and they passed up on the two chances.
Who did they
I
get?
think I think
Yeah,
they had the 4 and 5 or the 5 and 6
Rick,
that time. They went for Ricky Rubio and then they went for Johnny Flynn.
Ricky Rubio is
Oh,
okay.
Ricky Ubro's okay,
Okay,
Pero
Yeah.
but
Johnny Flynn is, yeah, the one
that's what see, yeah.
scratching their heads for.
Sayang pa rin yung isa. But Ricky Rubio, you see that he's decent in his team, but he didn't become like a superstar like a Steph Curry and that level.
Mm,
But let's remember that there was so much hype from Ricky Rubio, even starting with the Beijing Olympics. Oh, bata siya. He's
Yeah.
doing this and that. And then he became that regular guy in the NBA. But he still has his asset, of course.
mhm.
But he's not like a superstar.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's an okay player.
Yon, yeah.
Yeah.
You
He's just super.
Serviceable. He's serviceable.
you wouldn't chart him as an all-star. You wouldn't chart him as so-so. So he's right there in the middle.
Yeah,
But
he's in.
there's these flashes of greatness then, like with Utah and also with Phoenix. So you can't fault players like that. It's just how their careers turned out. They're not
Yeah.
one of the best. They're not one of the first. They're just in the middle, and they continue to produce for the teams. So now that we've discussed Wiseman, Edwards, now we go to the number three pick, and one of the more
Hey.
I don't want to say one of the more entertaining dynamics moving forward in the NBA.
LaMelo Ball.
LaMelo. What's on my screen now? Anyway, for audio, it's a ball.
Both stress basketball. So Lamelo stress basketball. Stress for Michael Jordan to have a stage dad in Lavar Ball that is lounging around the venue because he is the father. So Lamelo will get complimentary tickets and then he can give it to his father.
There
So
you go.
Oh,
there,
you wrote on your ball. Oh my God, you wrote on it.
yeah.
It's a cheap ball. It's a marker that's not not permanent. Yeah.
But but
Pero going beyond the potential drop
uh,
or lack of it. So we don't know yet eh.
he's
Uh
taller than what's his name, the brother
so
6'6".
Lonzo. Taller
Lonzo's
than
listed as 6'7", right?
Lonzo 6'7".
They list him as a big guard. Well, Lamelo's listed here for me 6'6".
but now that we've opened that comparison, um offense is the best asset that the Hornets will get from Lamelo.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yung
Correct.
defense
Correct.
very questionable pa eh. Even the body type. It's not yet there. NBA standards not yet. Pero from the highlights and from all of his stints, he can really score. So
Yes.
he can light up the scoreboard. So that's a positive for a team na has struggled offensively ever since Kemba Walker left. So how about you two? How do you think this Lamelo Ball trade will pan out for?
I want to see him. Apparently, he's a very. They call him he passes like a whole. What's that called? Harlem Globetrotter. So I want to see that.
Okay,
And
nice.
the last one that I remember being a passer like that was Jason Williams, the white chocolate. But I want to see him. The reason why I'm kind of excited to see him because he also played in the NBL, which is the Australian Professional League, and I want to
Mhm.
see how he developed his skills there. If the Australian League did help him push up his um his development, no? And I also want to see his shooting form. I don't know about the father. I don't know why the father didn't teach these two sons to have the basics of how to shoot a basketball. But I want to see his playmaking style. A lot of people are saying he's going to be a great playmaker. A lot of people are saying that he's a very good passer. He could pass both right and left. His suspect is defense, and I hope as a point guard, as someone who's a playmaker, you have to have tough defense. And for me, the tough defender for me still number one point guard is John Stockton and then Chris Paul. No? So let's see how he pans out. Let's see how he pans out. But I'm excited to watch him. He's gonna be in a very good team because he's gonna be starting. Right? There's no point guard in Charlotte. No?
That's what you want to see from a top pick.
Yeah,
That they get thrown into the starting.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
they have the advantage of starting. They do have Jeremy Lamb as
Yes.
one of their guards, and yeah, so there's that backcourt for you. You have like Jeremy Lamb. Well, he's more seasoned, and then you have Lamelo Ball, the scorer.
Mm.
So
Young gun.
I guess that's a good dynamic to build on for Charlotte. But I guess with Lamelo in Charlotte now, the next question would be: will the one-on-one with Lavar and Michael finally happen? And what
I
or
think
when?
that's more important talaga, no? Let's just ditch everything Lamelo. Let's see the one-on-one first.
Yeah, I want
Like,
a major sporting network to cover that. ESPN,
yeah.
ABC, everything. CBS, you just cover that one-on-one, and let's just see how Jordan will smoke
Oh
Lavar.
gosh, clean
Wait,
him.
Like,
He's gonna clean him.
Lavar said that he'd do it with a hand tied, right? Is that correct?
well, you
And
know,
blindfolded. I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah, he there was like a handicap pa rin. And I'm
Yeah,
sure Jordan took it personally.
you don't do that to Jordan. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pero
especially Michael Jordan, you don't do that.
exactly. But speaking of Lamelo, the thing with him is Lance said body and Claudia said liability on defense.
Yeah.
Those two are intertwined because maybe they'll abuse him on the post. Someone will try to back him down. We know that he was thrown into the limelight early. So we saw the Totoy Lamelo Ball where his muscles weren't developed yet. But when you look at him now compared to the Totoy Lamelo Ball or who was the kid, you'll see, oh yeah, he's bulked up. But the level that he's in now isn't ideal yet for the NBA. It's
Not
just
yet. But he's only
not yet.
19. He's only
Yeah,
18.
18, 18.
18.
Yeah,
It's
it's
setting
a
precedent.
continuous development process, of course. So that will be something that they'll be incorporating of him getting that NBA body
Yeah.
also to tick it off the list. And you mentioned scoring. There were those videos where he was pulling up from half court in his, I think, his games with Chino Hills.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Easy.
that's what.
Sometimes
Scoring machine. Diba? But do you think hypothetically that the two brothers will be in the same team one day?
Lavar will fix it one day, no?
Yeah, diba? I'm
Yeah,
thinking that.
maybe if they're both clutch, they
ready.
both signed with Clutch Sports.
Yeah.
And I don't know, will Clutch Sports, the agent, move heaven and earth to put them in LA? Because Clutch Sports,
Ah,
they have ties with the Lakers.
Yeah,
okay.
because that's LeBron's team. But
Yeah.
yeah, you have to consider that essentially the Lakers already bailed out on Lonzo.
Yes.
Pero
Yeah, they did.
pero we don't know. Lavar has a way of talking himself in. He has this way of like, oh, he's for everything that he said, for all the craziness that he said, he is a good hype man for his sons.
Big baller brand.
He was able to hype up Lonzo to be the number two pick. And well, Lamelo is more talented. Pero he's there in the top three. Um,
Mm.
for better or worse, with Lavar stalking or not, he's there in the top three.
Yeah. And because of all of Lavar's talking, we're taking so much time just to speak about Lamelo, right? So it's
Yeah,
working. The marketing is working.
you
And
know, he's a marketing genius.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Even though big baller brand shoes don't last a quarter. Lonzo said that every quarter he'd have to change shoes when he was wearing Big Baller brand
That no.
in the summer league. And just a quick story: one of my friends was watching a Lakers game live, and he saw Lavar Ball on the other side along the sideline. My friend was on the baseline. Ano daw? Lavar had a bodyguard.
What?
Yeah, the bodyguard was in a suit, and then Lavar Ball was in slides and socks.
Oh my gosh. He
The
he brings
bodyguard,
he brings character to the NBA. That's and the NBA needs him.
Character, yeah.
the bodyguard's dressed better pa.
He gets talked about because he he says something crazy, but really, if you look at his statements, he's not really derogatory to somebody else. Parang he'll make fun of himself.
Yes, yeah.
He say things like, "I can beat Jordan, I can beat this guy," but he doesn't really talk smack like um, he's nobody like that. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
he's
it's
just
He still
hype.
respects. He has that respect towards in a way, right?
It's hype.
for attention. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
Exactly.
why we spent like 10 to 15 minutes talking about his son. Anyway, so
Exactly. Oh, just one thing. Lonzo had a really bad workout, huh, for a second round draft pick.
oh, he did.
And
Yeah.
they picked him. And I'm
Shooting.
sure
Oh,
there's that big baller effect that got them into their desired team back then, right? But
Yeah.
it's good to see that Lonzo is figuring things out, throwing lobs to Zion Williamson now.
He's got he's got a good center with him. That's why.
Yes.
he is a great compliment to Zion Williamson in the
Yes. Yeah.
offense. Yeah. So he
Lon-
found his niche. Yeah.
Lonzo has his guy to feed. Perfect.
So
Does
that's
does Bello, This Lamelo.
Mac.
Sponsored ba tayo?
Oh my. Does Lamelo have someone to feed in Charlotte?
The Hornets.
Well, they have PJ Washington, but that guy is more of
Yeah.
like
Datum. Oh no, they don't. Yeah.
they don't have that.
Hola. They don't
Well,
have much of center.
he has that scoring reputation, so let's see if he'll be that high scoring guard.
Yeah, I guess he has that scoring reputation, and
Exactly.
aside from the defensive anomaly that he has, I guess the next question also is how good is he creating plays for others?
Hmm.
That's
So,
true.
Making your
com-
teammates better. That's a big role of a point guard.
so
Always. Always.
coming into Charlotte, I guess that's also one aspect of his game that we have to look
Yeah.
after kung kaya ba niya na mag-facilitate for
Correct. Yeah.
the other players in the team. Anyway, so
Okay.
top three, who do you think would have the best career among the top three? Edwards, Wiseman, Lamelo.
Ako between Wiseman and Lamelo Ball ako. Between the two.
Really?
Wiseman and Ball. Yeah.
But- Okay.
Same for me because Weissman is in a loaded team. And when you're oh no, sorry, I'm thinking about Edwards and Lamelo.
Ikaw
I think
Lamelo.
yeah, Edwards and Lamelo, I'm gonna go Lamelo because he'll have that room and that time playing time to let him grow. Because when you're young, you know, your playing time counts every single second. And let's see Minnesota with as things stand now, you guys mentioned that they have a loaded team. So that can affect
Yeah, especially in the backcourt, very
yeah,
loaded.
that can affect minutes and confidence, then you can just spiral. So let's see how their front office will handle that.
It's
Or
true.
even come training camp.
But James Wiseman doesn't really have much of a conflict in Charlotte in Golden State, right?
Is
Yeah, he,
Kevon Looney still there? But Looney was just there to do the garbage.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, Looney was more of a band-aid solution for
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wala
they
din si
just picked him
KD.
up.
Wala si KD. KD's gone. So
happened to be there. So they didn't have a choice,
yeah,
especially
they didn't have a choice.
Yeah. But he had the athleticism, so that just got the job done for them.
Oh, yeah. So those are my two choices. About you, Lance. So who are you?
siguro ano, I'll have to temper my expectations with Wiseman first. Kasi he will not be asked to be a great player immediately
Mm,
because he is surrounded by a great squad. Sayang nga lang that well Clay is not playing next season, but the fact that you have a Steph Curry, you have a Draymond Green also there.
yeah.
Um, you will not be asked to be dominant early on. But he'll have his role. He'll have his moments. So siguro stats wise, I see Lamelo trumping Edwards and
Oh,
what.
he's gonna win. He's gonna win the stats.
So
Yeah.
kung rookie of the year lang, I guess it's him. I guess. So
And
that would be my selection.
I want to see if he'll have the confidence to pull up from the logo early on already into the season.
And I just want to Lavar talk more once Lamelo wins the award
For the entertainment value, no?
for the entertainment value. Lavar should really consider building his own. Uh,
Agency, sports.
yes, he big baller agency, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Sure, he does.
I guess he has thought of that possibility, but he has that, I don't know, he has that natural talent for building up players.
Hype, hype
Hype,
man.
hype, hype. But
Hype,
you need him
hype.
for his sons. That's it.
It's different when you for sons, because it's not really on a contract, right? They can just go, oh, I can do whatever I want just to hype up my kids.
Fathers are
But
number one fans of Sunset, diba? So he'll
yes,
be able to talk to hype up their stock.
yeah, he
And
can
here
pretty
we
much.
go again, talking about
Here we go. Exactly.
that's how good they are.
Good at hyping, at least.
For all NBA prospects who would like to ramp up their hype, their stock in the NBA draft, I guess they should really consider hiring him. Just do the talking for them, like a and doing the talking for the Brock Lesnar's and the Roman WWE. That's him.
Yeah, that's true, no?
Theodore Long. Yun din.
What he can do, and well, the teams are paying attention for all the craziness that he's been talking about. And
Exactly.
so,
But may clout naman yung sinasabi niya. I
mm,
mean, like, well, except for his 1-1 with Jordan. I mean, that's different. But his sons were number 2 and 3 draft
yeah,
picks.
Yeah.
and they're not really so. They have talent. Okay.
Yes, they can.
Yeah, they have.
That
They're
is
there because they can really play at a high level. In fairness,
Yes, yeah.
like these guys aren't washouts who are just there because of their talent. They really have what it
Correct.
takes to
yeah.
compete.
And it's
Mhm.
good that both Lonzo and Lamelo don't talk a lot. They leave the talking all of
To the father.
father,
The-
which makes us love them even more. Because it's
Yeah.
if Lonzo has the mouth of his father.
Oh my God.
oh gosh, it'll
We'll
be like
hate them.
WWE already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Parang nag-even out. May law of averages din, no? But I want to go back real quick with Weissman because,
Uh,
of
send
course, he'll be surrounded by superstars. Let's just factor in Clay just for the discussion. So with him there, if he can at least just be a quality role player,
mm,
doing his job, protecting the rim, that's something big for him. Protecting down low
mm-hmm.
and hitting those threes to stretch the floor consistently, they will be fine. But now that Clay's out, maybe will that be another chance for him to get looks at the basket? Maybe not essentially becoming the other leading scorer of the team, but maybe scoring a bit more than expected. Maybe going 8, 10 points regularly, consistent. Let's see how that pans out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
guess he'll get more touches with Clay Thompson not around.
Yeah, more touches, but it's not like he's gonna be the number two option, of course.
But if for some reason he turns out to be something like a Clint Capella, that would be a scary predicament for the rest of the NBA.
Oh, highly
Oh,
serviceable. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
Capella's in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Until now,
Diba?
can't recall. Basta I'm still pissed until now that the Rockets let him go, okay? I'm still pissed.
Yes,
Okay.
he's in Atlanta.
Eh,
Until now.
they
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
this I call it Smurf ball because they have a 6'7" center in PJ Tucker. So they look like Smurfs when you put them beside the Lakers and
Ball talaga.
I-
Smurf,
Imagine
Smurf ball.
imagine mo lang kunin mo isang barangay team dito sa Pilipinas. Tapos kalaban nila mga NBA international hype, no? Ayun.
Parang
Like
ganun.
the Rockets, their height will be your pinky, index finger, NBA players. And ano, the other opponents, no? So yun.
mm.
Compare
Wait.
your can compare your pinky and your index. That's the height difference. Rockets and the rest of the NBA's big men.
Yeah.
So there.
Wait,
Okay.
speaking of Capella, actually the Atlanta Hawks got a good one also. His name is Onyeka Okongwu.
Mm-hmm.
From the scouting reports, he it says that he what you need to know about this guy. He's a ring protector, just like Capella.
Yep.
No, he's
Great
tall.
At
He's a power
understudy.
forward.
That's a
Yeah,
great
and
understudy.
Yeah. At least they'll have that dynamic of Capella being more of the scoring big guy
yeah,
and that guy more of the rim protector.
and and we're back to the balls. He was also a teammate of Lamelo and Lonzo. Oh,
USC. USC?
see, so but he's an excellent finisher now. This guy
Were
can
they
can handle the ball like a wing. So they're comparing him like a shades of Bam Adebayo. Imagine that.
Okay.
Oh
That's
yeah.
person. And imagine if it turns out to be Bam Adebayo, who is
That's
who
the
has
that's the front.
who has shown up during the bubble.
Yeah. He was the biggest revelation. Siya tsaka si Jimmy Butler. Oh my gosh.
that
So,
1-2 punch?
Mm.
yeah, crazy, crazy,
Yo,
crazy.
speaking of Onyeka, yung maganda dun, he can switch and defend on the perimeter
Yeah,
as
he's
a big
fast.
man.
Yeah.
6'9" center, a bit small, but you can still, I think you can still get away with that height in the NBA.
Yeah.
But having great foot speed to defend the perimeter,
Well, yeah.
that's
So,
that's
alam ko na
scary.
ng Atlanta. So, I think I could answer that later sa free agency. If we're, sa free agency trades and all that.
We're going to talk about it. Pero they are building a decent team in Atlanta, young,
Yeah.
decent. So expect them to like compete in the Eastern Conference, not this year, but like give them like 2 or 3 years and
Yes.
uh, they'll be back in the
Yeah.
playoffs.
They'll be back in the
Oh
playoff.
wait, I want to fact check real quick. Onyeka, it says he's in USC.
Yeah.
He was teammates with Lonzo where?
In high school.
Ah, high school. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Kasi Lonzo nag UCLA, 'di ba?
Yeah.
So it's high school. Okay,
Yeah.
check that.
Okay, closing the discussion about the NBA draft. So, who do you think is the dark horse among all the draft choices?
Me?
Yeah.
Ewan ko, mamaya may Michael Red bigla eh. Last pick.
Yeah, or like a Manu Ginobili.
Oh gosh, him.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
47 yata Manu Ginobili.
For me,
Yeah.
for me, well, okay, what do you consider a steal? Is it from what draft? From what trip pick?
Um,
Second round or
let's
after the 10th? After the 12?
let's say he was projected to be this draft choice, but for some reason he's
See, Halliburton.
okay.
Reese Halliburton. Yeah, he went to Sacramento. He was pick number 12 in by Sacramento. Again, a good team that he's landing in. But he could have been picked by Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, he could have easily gone as early
Yeah,
or
yeah, 3 or 4.
Nag-slide.
has that capability.
He
He
slid
slid.
down to 12. Yeah,
Okay.
and I love him because of his suit. The way he was wearing his suit, it's all flowery. Oh man, it was amazing. Yeah, but
No, he also
yeah,
wins best dressed, maybe.
yeah. For me, him and yeah,
Yeah, at least from day one of his job, he was already dressing up nicely. So at least
yes, yeah.
He
you
looked good in the tunnel heading into every game.
yeah, he won't wear something like photographer or like a
No,
leg head.
Or not the AI chains, no. And the hip hop,
oh gosh,
the classic
or
look.
the Westbrook. Okay, yeah, the
Yeah,
Westbrook.
yeah, the photographer. No,
Or
not just photographer. Westbrook photographer fashion is one thing. And then everything else that Westbrook would wear is another dimension.
Gosh, yeah. I think that's another podcast we could talk about.
it's another episode ranking all of his attires pre-game.
Yeah, pag video na tayo, we'll be
Yeah.
flashing those pictures and we'll be ranking it.
Yes, actually, yeah.
Like max 2 hours at least to rank all of those because there's just too many. But
And
going
then
back
when
to the discussion,
we have to rank other players, J.R. Smith wala eh. He does was this not
Yes.
applicable kasi wala siyang t-shirt.
yeah, Yeah, we can rank his shorts.
Oh gosh, yeah.
or his tattoos.
Or his tattoos.
What's the best? What's the worst?
Yeah.
Going back to the dark horses. Ako si si Obi Toppin.
I was just gonna say also him.
Uh,
Really?
New York Knicks. Um, for some reason, New York lately has been doing good with their draft choices. They already have RJ Barrett. So I guess ano yan Leon Rose effect yan front office. Of course, James Dolan is still a mediocre owner. Pero besides that, the front office itself has been doing good lately. So imagine they already have an RJ Barrett there, and you pair him with the big guy with
Yeah.
big upside in Obi Toppin. So there's excitement in
They're gonna be an exciting team actually. Yeah.
exciting young team, pero still we couldn't put them as a playoff team. Pero there's progress. You see them like, let's say, conservatively like 30 wins, 40
Mm.
season, and then
Okay, kind of
come next
fair.
season or 2 seasons after, that's the time you see them cracking the playoff
Playoffs, yeah.
the playoffs. Pero they're getting a versatile big guy in Topin who can cover a lot of bases also. So good complementary a complement to RJ Barrett. So ano na yan, parang kung sa starting five mo, two of your five check na eh. So
Yeah.
yun na lang ang iisipin mo kung sinong ilalagay mo o i-retain mo. So
Two down,
um,
three to go.
there's reason to be optimistic for New York fans na alam naman natin for so long they're always negative.
Let's see. Because back in 2016 when they had Courtney Lee, D Rose, Melo, Noah, we thought they were a legit playoff team.
Yeah, we thought
But
until we
being
saw
being
Noah.
the Knicks,
So
they ended it in I think they ended it in Knicks fashion that this team underperformed in a way when the,
strong that season, if I remember correctly, and then they just fizzled towards the end. So that's why
yes,
not able
yes,
to clinch the playoffs.
that's why. So
Yeah, so
that's
open.
still good by New York standards.
They also got a good guy from Kentucky. Um Emmanuel Quickly. He was drafted by the Oklahoma City, but he was traded to New York. So it says here he led Kentucky in scoring during his sophomore year, 16.1 points per ball game within 20 games. He's a small guard.
That's a good prospect.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
but let's see. Adam Morrison was a scoring machine in college,
Oh
but we know
gosh,
what
yeah.
happened to Adam Morrison. So there always has to be an asterisk, diba?
Yeah. But we'll see, ah. But
Let's
yes, si
see.
Obi Topin, they're comparing him like Amar Studamar. And then wow.
I'd love to see another Amare in
Oh
the
yeah.
game.
He's a dunker. He's a dunker. He's a like he dunks all the time. He's that explosive.
because Amare is like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. So
Yeah.
there's the first part of his career, and there's the second grim part of his career. So let's just hope that when they compare him to Amare, it's the first part Amare, not the
Yeah. Not the angry. And
Not
Kyle Kuzma, they say he's like a Kyle Kuzma. I don't know whether they should compare him to Kyle Kuzma, but I like it that they compare him to Studamar Amare.
mhm.
and that would be dynamic if they really got a Stoudemire level player in
Yeah.
open.
Di ba
Like
si Amare went to the Knicks also?
Yeah,
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so I want the Phoenix, the Studamar of Phoenix, not the Studamar of New York Knicks.
Okay. Yeah, correct.
downfall started New York.
Basta not Lansing tail end of Stoudemire's career going down, not the one who ended up playing in I think in Jerusalem.
Yeah, yeah,
He
that
ended up playing there.
yeah,
No, but that's just how high the level of NBA is that he was still able to I think put up monstrous numbers there. I think they picked up the title. Yeah. But
yeah,
yeah, hopefully this guy stays in the league long.
yeah. I hope so. And he has a good character. I've been reading about him.
Mhm.
They're saying he's a good character, and
How about you, Claro? Your dark horse for this draft.
It's tough for me to identify right now because when you're looking at all these guys, ang daming highlights eh.
Mhm.
It's just highlights. So you need to see the liabilities. And then that's where you truly gauge who's your guy.
mm,
But I think since we are in a shortened season, it might be difficult for these draftees, yung adjustment period, they might not have enough time.
Yeah.
Upside this, I think the season's gonna be compressed.
Yeah,
They're
70.
still playing 72 regular season games and will end in July, but that's still compressed. So
Uh,
Yeah,
they can
they won't have preseason, I guess.
yeah, they won't have preseason.
nor summer
Oh,
league because
wala.
summer's over. No
Winter league
summer
na
league.
dapat.
Yeah, so those, yeah, you're right. So those are two opportunities sana that could have helped rookies acclimatize their game to the NBA.
Correct.
Don't
Yeah,
have that
Correct.
opportunity, so expect like learning curves when they start, the struggles that comes with being a rookie and all.
that's right.
So
That's right.
But you can look at it the other way because the season is somewhat condensed pa rin, despite being 72 games. Coaches will be forced to dig down their bench and play rookies more often.
That's right.
Like I think Clay was a rookie. Clay was a rookie coming out of the lockout. So that season was really compressed. So they were getting more playing time. They had back to back to backs. So that's good. That was good for the youngsters in that case. So you can see it going the worst case and best case scenario for
Mm-hmm.
these new guys.
agree.
That's right. That's right. I'm
Okay.
excited. I'm excited. I can't. It's like what, less than a month from now, no?
Parang saglit na lang NBA na.
A
Yeah.
little over.
And I
It,
like it because I'm not putting this as a disclaimer. People in Facebook and social media know I hate the Lakers. It gives them a small time to celebrate, short time to celebrate their win.
the party's over because they are starting training camp like by December 1, I guess. By
Wow.
the start of the month, they are already training camp, and then by the 22nd, it's go time once again.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
like 10, 11 days to celebrate if they celebrated at all.
That's
But
right.
yeah, as always, as sports fans in general, we always want to see more action, and we couldn't wait for the next season. At least itong next season, it's like akin to the typical format na 82 games. 72 nga lang, pero yun na yung may home court, may away team.
Yes.
So at least ganyan na yung
Yes.
format. So getting back to normal. And we just can't wait to see who among these rookies will do good or will be like a pain for the squad. Anyway,
Oh,
so that's the draft for us, and
yeah.
we move on to the meteor junior topics because even before the draft happened, there has been a lot, and that's all caps, a lot. Bright lights, man, a lot of movements,
That's right.
players,
Neon lights.
Not
free.
just players, coaches, friend.
And some of the coaches also, yeah, you're right.
But the
That.
GM.
Even GMs. So it's just one like Russian roulette, if I may put it that way. Sort of an off season, the shortest one at that, and it has become one of the most active for all of the teams.
Everything's crammed.
Everything's crammed. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Even the games. So we get to see more games.
yeah. You
As
get
a
to
sports fan, every from basketball all the way up to Z.
you get to see more transactions in a shorter amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is trying to upend their opponents. So, of all the trades and transactions that has happened over the off season, let's talk about the major ones and try to make sense of the impact that it can bring to the squad. Uh, we're not going to talk about Anthony Davis because most likely he will sign again after declining the player option. It's just a ploy to have him sign multi-year, like 4 or 5 years with the Lakers. So we are going to scrap that. But they got a new point guard, Dennis Schroeder
Yeah, shooter. Yeah.
from the Oklahoma City
Yep.
Thunder. So would this be the dynamic that would push Rondo to the bench or maybe out of the team?
Yeah. Dennis
I
is
think out.
good. Yeah, I think Rondo's gonna go out. I think he's out. I think he's out. But good pickup, good trade kay Dennis Schroeder. I watched the guy ever since he was in
What
Atlanta.
does you
Galing.
bring to the Lakers dynamic? Like
He's a
where
passer, he's a scorer. He's also a scoring point guard. He's a scoring point guard. He can pass, but I'm not sure how he is in playoffs. Rondo kasi, he's well, playoff Rondo.
He's
He's
when it comes to the playoffs. Yeah.
yeah, he's very reliable. I'm not sure if Dennis will be one. Schroeder will be a reliable uh, playoff point guard.
Yeah. At a stage in his career, we saw that he couldn't close out games. But so that's his liability. But he can just give the ball to LeBron, so they can hide him there.
We give the ball to LeBron, who will pass the ball to someone else. Yeah, sorry.
Let's not forget that it's now Anthony Davis who is the main scorer.
Yes,
And then LeBron will pass. And then LeBron will pass to
LeBron is
Anthony
like your
Davis.
guy who does everything else. He's like your plumber. He is not really he can still bring it offensively, LeBron. But for some to some level, he has already passed the baton offensively,
yes,
Anthony Davis. So tama nga naman. So he'll pass to LeBron and then LeBron will pass to Anthony Davis.
yeah,
Get the 2 points. So yeah. Pero Shooter for me upgrade siya in
mm-mm.
terms of offense. Compared to Rondo
Ah,
Rondo is more of the facilitating point guard. Not that Schroeder couldn't do it, pero kung scoring din lang, Schroeder brings that to the
yes,
table. And that is very important because there have been games in the bubble wherein the Lakers struggled to find points outside of
but
Anthony Davis and LeBron. I mean, Caruso would show up sometimes, Kuzma would show up sometimes, pero it
Danny Green a
Danny
few
Green
times.
times, but
like,
more breaks than points. So um at least they have like another option who
yeah,
can bring, let's say, at least 15 points in a game. So that helps them in that aspect of
Hmm.
the game in offense because defensively Lakers solid, one of the better teams, not the best, one of the better in terms of
yes, I agree.
teams.
They have the pieces, yes.
Pero
Lockdown.
there have been times during the bubble na they have really been struggling finding the points. So that's where Schroeder comes in. His hair and all.
Yeah, well, actually his hair. That's not that he doesn't do that intentionally. Yeah,
The
it's
Like
really
that.
froth.
like that. Yeah, it's really like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't
Okay.
do.
So so would the Lakers, now that we have home courts and all, do you think they would have like a Dennis Schroeder night wherein everybody wears something like that in there?
Well, they did it for Varejao
Oh yeah, they did.
before. You just need afros with the froth, right?
That's right.
Then you're good.
Mm. Pero
Okay,
good pickup, good trade yan for the Lakers.
so for us it's a thumbs up. For everybody, that's a thumbs up deal. Okay. So you mentioned Danny Green.
Hi,
So from the Lakers, he's now in I forgot where he is. OKC.
Philadelphia. He went
Philadelphia.
to OKC. Went to Philadelphia.
Okay, so he took a short trip to OKC, like the
Nagano
short
siya?
test.
Ganun.
Parang ano lang, like side trip lang,
Road trip siya. Road trip.
Bakasyon lang yan.
Uh,
going to the Philadelphia 76ers.
yes.
And we all know that Philadelphia has been void of outside shooting for so long. Does he help in that department?
No.
Um, Given his form, no. So he has to get into his peak again, of course. But again, JJ Redick and Joel Embiid were speaking on their podcast, and Embiid hasn't really found that guard yet whom he has fantastic chemistry with. It still hasn't beaten the JJ Redick level. So Danny Green isn't that replacement. Danny Green's more of the three, Redick's more of the two. But let's see if the Sixers will figure it out because they got a new GM, right? I think it's Daryl Morey now.
Yeah. So very
Morey.
smart and a new coach.
Yep.
Yeah, Morey is the one who moneyballed the Rockets. Um, Controversially, we could say. Yes. So let's see how they figure things out because they need shooters again to protect the likes of Embiid and Simmons because Embiid we'd see him shoot outside, but he's very streaky.
Yeah. And ideally, it's not where you want Embiid shooting from
That's right.
because you would rather have him exploit his height and his heft.
That's right.
You'd rather have him inside and let somebody else do the scoring from the perimeter.
Correct. You
So
have the
Yeah.
kickouts.
Danny Green's shooting is suspect, no doubt, but he helps them defensively in the perimeter. That's a big
Hmm.
plus because that's also one aspect of their dynamics of Philadelphia that has been missing. Not just outside shooting, but perimeter defense. So that's a big boost for the Sixers. We don't know how much points they would get from Green any given night, but at least that defensive tenacity will always be there.
Okay, for me, well, Simmons, you put Simmons and Danny Green, brick down. Oh my gosh, right? It's a brick
How many
down.
more bricks?
But defensively, they're gonna get stronger. You have Simmons, point guard, and then you have the three Danny Green, and then you have Matisse Thybulle, one of the best
Yeah, one of
defensive.
the underrated, yes.
Woo, that guy defensively, wow. But imagine if he starts shooting, no? If that boy that Matisse learns how to shoot,
He's not like the
yeah,
he's not like an ultimate shooter.
Yeah.
no.
We were seeing him shoot from
But
distance.
he can
Yes, yes,
shoot the three.
but not an elite.
Yeah, if he just becomes like a 3 and D guy, that
Wow,
That
yeah,
way, yeah,
bring you like
correct.
3 pointers in a game,
yeah.
that's
Yes.
big upside for the team already.
Yeah, galing. But okay. I'm not. I don't like Danny Green, but with what you said, Lance, about his defense, that actually it's a plus. It's a big plus, and they also have Tobias Harris, diba? So, they let go of Richardson too.
Hmm.
I think it's a good pickup, and they have a veteran in the court, you know. And are we going to the next trade that also went to Sixers?
Yes, so apparently you brought it up already. So apparently Danny Green will not be the solution, but it be Curry, but not Steph. It's his brother, Seth Curry, who
Yes.
was traded from Dallas to the 76ers. So could we say that he would be like a second coming to AJ Redick, possibly?
Right.
Well, bottom line is he has a shot, a consistent shot.
Apparently, he's better than Steph. Huh?
The form's a bit better in terms of textbook.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing some analysis,
Yeah.
with this diagrams and everything, and they're saying textbook. Yes, Seth's form is just a bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got
And
to see Curry play live.
and
Seth Curry.
he is also the brother. He is the son-in-law of Doc Rivers. So
Yes.
there's
Yes.
going to be some chemistry there. But good trade. As soon as I found out that Seth Curry was going to Sixers, I was happy. I'm
Yeah.
happy. Very good pickup. I think the Philadelphia Sixers will be again another stronger team. They'll be able to get into the finals, but
And
they'll take a shot. They'll have a big shot as
no Paul
always.
no Paul George involved in Seth Curry, Doc Rivers, Paul George.
Yeah,
None of that stuff.
none of that. None of that. But
So will their new composition like help them reach at least conference finals?
yes, yeah. They nearly went into the finals except for that crazy shot by Kawhi.
Oh yeah,
They went
Yeah,
far with
the
Jimmy
toink,
B,
the
toink,
yeah.
toink, toink, toink.
before he went in.
Yeah. 7 bounces. I was screaming. Oh my gosh.
That was
At,
epic.
at least they have been able to clean up or like unclog the lanes in
Yeah.
Philadelphia. Ben Simmons will not be pressured too much to shoot because they already have a Seth Curry, so he can do everything else.
He can become a point forward.
Yeah,
Diba?
he
Point
can
forward. Yeah, point forward.
focus on like his mid-range
Mm-hmm.
distribution of the ball, and of course
Yeah.
his passing. So, and then
Nako. Yeah,
when nothing happens inside, you have a Seth Curry waiting on the line, the 3 pointer.
that's
So
right.
that's a scary dynamic if everything turned out to be clicking
That's right.
for 76ers.
And
Pero
then they
mahirap.
picked up a good rookie too, Tyrese Maxey. They also picked up he's also a defensive player.
So they have a Matisse and they have a Tyrese. Okay, they like ease. Okay,
Exact.
But one bottom line with the
Start
Sixers,
Curry eases. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
as
dynamic.
long as Simmons can't pick up his shooting, they'll just keep leaving him open. So they should. It'll be a bit easier to crack out the Philly offense and stop them. No, so he needs to get some of that going at least. So
If
that's
if
what they're
if if
expecting.
Ben gets an outside shot, wala na.
Ah, yes, yes,
He's gonna be so.
Yeah, that would be an unstoppable force already.
yeah. Because as it sticks, as long as you keep him right now, status quo, you keep him open, you're fine, right?
Hmm.
You're fine keeping him open. So that's the big thing they have to solve. Yes, it's correct. You need to surround them with shooters, but he also has to be able to um, pick up those outside shots as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for all we know, he will keep on trying. Ben Simmons. He will keep on trying to develop that shot. Uh,
Yes.
it's just a matter of being confident, doing it in game. In practices, he will do it for all he wants. But in game, let's see if it finally happens that he shoots a lot of three
Sana
pointers.
Doc River pushes him to do that. Ako, diba? Doc Rivers,
Hmm.
diba? Forces
Good
him to shoot,
development.
Yeah.
diba?
Yeah, with his hoarse voice. I told you to shoot outside. Doing it.
Oh my goodness. Oh
Like,
my,
just a side note. Like Doc Rivers has been hoarse all his life. Like from the moment he went out of the mother's womb, his cry was hoarse already.
yeah, no? I
So
wonder what's the story of his voice. How he lost it or something. I don't know.
consistent barking from the sidelines.
Could
Maybe
be. Could
you
be.
don't get to rest it, right?
That's a prevailing problem for all head coaches siguro. Uh, except Popovich, because Popovich is like always like this ever since.
Yeah.
You
He
want me
doesn't scream.
to answer that question? Okay, 2 words. Very good.
Man of simple words, man. The man of simple words.
Okay. Philadelphia, definitely upgrades.
yeah.
Green on
Big time upgrades.
Seth Curry on perimeter shooting. But speaking of upgrades, so since we are going in that line of discussion already, I guess this is one of the bigger upgrades in the NBA offseason. Chris Paul going to the Phoenix Suns. But they traded away a lot of players also, a lot of serviceable players to
Mm.
OKC. But how great would Chris Paul, Devin Booker pairing would be?
Mm. From a
Good.
very stable point guard to a very explosive point guard. Wow.
You
They're
play
gonna be
them together.
exciting. They will be exciting.
Oh yeah.
No doubt that Devin Booker will be the two, and then
Lakas ng, they're gonna have a strong backcourt, ah.
Yeah.
Lakas ng
let's not
backcourt nila.
forget the Phoenix Suns were 8-0 in the bubble before
Yeah.
they eliminated. So they were already onto something before their series or their season abruptly ended because for some reason they just didn't have enough wins to
Yeah.
clinch the last playoff spot.
They needed some teams to drop games, so it was out of their control.
But they should have automatically got in because of their 8-0.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, just so
there's
happens.
that there's consideration for someone for a team that would sweep the 8 games to at least have a
Maybe
shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
because what's letting them down is how they did the entire season, which
That's
is
true.
lacking. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's their problem. They were not as good early, so even though they had 8-0, it was still not enough.
That's
Yeah,
true.
just
That's true.
just a formality. But with
Yeah, go ahead.
Devin with Booker, he's also quite tall if you make him a two because two guards had a hard time guarding him also
Mm.
because of his release. He has a very high release. It's more difficult for them to stop. So and then you have Chris Paul already to stabilize things. He'll bring in that experience, especially end game. So that as long as they get their chemistry, those two should be good together. But let's see if there'll be is that a Kendall Jenner effect on Booker?
I doubt. I doubt.
Let's see. There's like a curse, right?
It's like a Kardashian Jenner curse that has
Yes, yes.
been for so long. That's
Yeah,
why Thompson is still non-existent up until this moment. He's nowhere to be found.
Oh my gosh.
then
Chris
Ben
probably ended his NBA career.
Ben Simmons still can't shoot.
Bill Simmons still can shoot.
Yeah.
He made his shot with a Jenner, but he's
Ben Simmons, not Bill.
so yeah. You because of those outcomes, you can believe or you can conclude that there is some light into the Kardashian Jenner curse. But going to Chris Paul, the leadership, veteran leadership, is the biggest plus because
Yes.
we've seen Phoenix actually do it and win games in the bubble. So 8-0 is no fluke, especially if you're playing every other day. So it takes a toll on the body. So they needed that extra player that could show them how to win and guide them how to
Right.
do it. Kasi
Locker room presence, 100%.
Yes.
and ano na lang yun, everybody would listen to a Chris Paul.
Mm.
Uh, no matter how fiery he could be at times, he will really get into your skin if you're not doing well.
That's right.
So he would really call out these young guns, Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Cam Johnson, Michael Bridges. He would really call them out if they're
Right.
not really playing well. And if you are the young gun, you have to listen to this veteran who has proven that he can carry a team that nobody gave a chance to enter the playoffs in OK,
Hmm.
but
That's right.
did.
That's right.
So that's the biggest contribution of a Chris Paul. So the winning mentality for Phoenix.
Still mad respect to CP3, even though he doesn't have a ring, with working wonders with OKC, for example, last season, making them ultra competitive,
Odds,
punching above their weight.
the
Oh
odds of
gosh, yeah.
playoffs is like less than 1%, according to experts.
I think it's zero. It was 0.02 or
Some,
something like that.
yeah,
Yeah. There was a zero in. I remember. Yeah.
di pa ginawang zero nilalagyan pa ng point 2.
0.2. One thing that Chris Paul will also bring to the Phoenix Suns is defense.
Oh yeah.
Yes, he can lock down. He
Yeah,
can.
their backcourt defense will be. Imagine that Devin during a press, he got Chris Paul and Devin Booker. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Chris Paul gets by with his smarts on defense. It's not like he's the most athletic
Oh, he's
guy,
pretty smart.
right?
Yeah.
But he did change up his diet. That's why he's still competitive now. But it's the smarts. That's how we got to see that he was able to defend Curry back in the day.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what he'll bring also.
Finds his advantages si Chris Paul kasi height-wise, he doesn't have it. So he'll beat you defensively with angles, with timing on the ball. Like uh, the moment that the ball is on the floor, that's the time he swipes. Parang ganun siya eh.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's always smarts. It's not really physicality. It's not always like I'm going to boss you on defense. He always thinks he's a thinking man's point guard.
He's like a John Stockton actually.
Yeah, to like similar mold.
Yeah.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah.
And not to mention they can also bring in the points any given night. It just so happened that everybody in Phoenix struggled in one game. Chris Paul can score 20 easy.
Easy.
He
Easy.
can he
It
can
was a
take
yeah,
he can take over as the emergency. That's correct.
Yeah.
that's true. And Houston had him, right? Claro, Houston had CP3.
Yeah, Houston had him.
He's supposed to solve things. And
But
then game 7, oh, injured. That's the Chris Paul bug also, right?
That's true.
You
Yeah.
lose him to injury. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Because I think that game 7, Houston, Golden State, would have been different, of course, if Chris Paul actually played. We'd be seeing him. He would have been shimmying that game again.
yeah,
Yeah.
Houston would have been more competitive if he was actually there.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Do you think this move, Chris Paul to the Suns, will get them over the hump, meaning playoffs?
Um,
Maybe
Like
into
this
the playoffs at least.
Eight, number 7 seed, something like that. Do you
the
think
a play-in will probably be in the play-in. Yeah, there's gonna be another play-in. Yeah.
10? Yeah. Mhm.
They'll be probably in the play-in. I think they have the chance to be in the play-in.
I'm looking forward to the play-in tournament this season.
Yeah, I
so
think they're gonna be in the plane. Yeah, that's right. Like or what we call here in the PBA the twice to beat advantage. I think they'll be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's still early to tell that for them to clinch an automatic playoff spot. So we'll be confident having them in the play-in, but not like 1 to 6 Phoenix.
Yeah.
No, I think, yeah, play in, but I say that Chris Paul would at least squeeze them into number 8, at least. So old format, that's sure in playoffs. But I think with him in Phoenix, he'll at least get them into number 8. So that's a higher seeded team in the play in.
And I guess the only question left for this transaction is how many times will Chris Paul call out DeAndre Ayton for lack of effort? That's a fiery dynamic that is waiting in the desert, no? Phoenix, So ano yan, mainit na discussion yan between the point guard and the center.
And number one draft pick si Aiton, di ba?
Yes, he was number 1. So they have been collecting a lot of lottery picks for the past like half a decade. And slowly but surely, it's panning out for them now. And they have a solid coach also in Monty Williams. So,
Oh
uh,
yeah, that's right.
who is one of the okay coaches in the NBA. So,
Mm.
magkakasundo yang si Chris Paul and Monty Williams, I believe, when it comes to where to move the team forward.
Yeah. Chris Paul, of course, a professional guy. Looks
Mhm.
like he can work with anyone.
Yeah.
And that's just to say the least. And
And
let's see. The Suns, tama na missing the playoffs. Gotta stop quote unquote tanking. They gotta deliver. They already have a great piece in Chris Paul. So
I think they
this
get
has to be it for them to make
yes.
it.
This has
Yeah.
to be.
After like being in the lottery for so long, I guess this is the time to make the big jump and
Yeah.
play off like a playoff qualifier, not really a contender, more of a
Yeah.
qualifier.
Just get in there already.
Yeah,
Say that you're in the postseason.
yeah, I agree.
They got Jalen Smith,
Mm.
Jalen.
Jalen Smith.
I thought you were going to say Jalen Rose. Jalen Rose.
81, 81.
He's height of 6'10" and the wingspan of 7'1". Wow.
Oh,
That's it.
that's kind of long or
Yeah, he's
wingspan.
long. Runs the floor hard. He'll beat defense for dunks and layups, and he could also shoot the three. Wow.
Runs the floor. So is that like a Ralph Sampson?
Well, they're shades of Serge Ibaka and Kelly Olynyk. Actually, Kelly Olynyk could score.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like scoring big guy.
scoring
Ibaka
big guy, yeah.
defense. I guess they'd rather for Jalen Smith, they'd rather have him develop into an Ibaka rather than on Olinik.
Oh
Because
gosh, yeah.
Eton So
Yeah.
so
Oh,
there
exciting.
so well, things are looking bright for the Suns.
Yes.
It's the Sun, ika nga, for Phoenix. We have talked about the more prominent transactions. Of course, there are a lot. Pero now, to cap off this NBA draft and free agency episode, let's talk about the players who are wanting to go out or players who already have like essentially 1 foot out of the door. So let's start with Gordon Hayward. Declined his player option from the Boston Celtics, 34 million if I'm not mistaken. What team or which teams would land his services, or where would he be best fit?
Atlanta Hawks.
Okay.
Ako, the Atlanta.
Because
That's my That's my call.
Mhm.
Yeah. He'll be fit sa Atlanta.
yeah,
Oh,
you,
yeah.
I guess you're into something with that kasi nga veteran.
Yeah.
So he's like a Chris Paul dun sa Phoenix.
Yeah.
So he's that veteran presence. And uh hindi naman sobrang baba nung naging performance ni Gordon Hayward with the Celtics. Just so happened that
Na-injure siya.
injured, and then Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum emerge.
Yeah.
So siya ng pwesto. So he could still score, he could still contribute, pero there's a logjam in Boston. So he was the odd man out. So
Yeah.
Not just injured, he is injury prone. Sad to say.
yeah, good
Yeah.
point.
His ankle. Yeah. Ako yan, that it'll be good for the Atlanta Hawks.
I guess I would have to go with either Atlanta or like Indiana. I guess Indiana. Yeah. Um, he has this desire to go back to Indiana, being that he is from Butler University, so that's from Indiana. So, parang he had that desire to play once again for in front of an Indiana crowd as a hometown player. Pero based on salary cap and all, the Atlanta move makes the most sense pa rin eh. They have a lot of money to spend.
Yeah.
Plus he really feels a need, Gordon Hayward, in that roster ng Hawks.
If you really want to go crazy, he signs with Boston, sign in trade, and he moves to 76ers, trading Tobias Harris.
Oh, man.
I would agree with that. Tobias Harris to Boston. Why not?
Di ba? That's a
uh,
good- but that means you're gonna have the Celtics has to carry his
yeah.
Tobias Harris's max contract.
The only problem with that, although that's exciting, is the Celtics would have to let go of like some players
Yeah.
to make space
Yeah.
in the cap.
But that's why that's an exaggeration.
Uh,
Yeah.
Pero as we all know, Danny Age can always work out something, as proven in the past years. He's always something up his sleeve. He's
Yes.
like Sam Presti Sam Presti has amassed a lot of first round draft picks for the next 6 years. Grabe.
Oh gosh, a lot. A lot. 17.
17 and
That's a
count.
lot.
It's a
Yeah.
lot. It's a lot.
Trade away the players that they got from Phoenix for first round draft choices. We don't know. He's not yet done. Presti, he's not yet done. Nowhere near to be done. Okay, so Gordon Hayward, we think would go to Atlanta, possibly Indiana, but most likely Atlanta Hawks, and he would develop into the player that he once was.
Yes. In
With,
Utah.
so James Harden requesting a trade.
Okay, this
Yep.
is this is Claro should answer this because
No, only one destination. It's not about I demand a trade. There's something else. I
oh
demand
yeah, he wants one destination. That's right.
Brooklyn. So
Trade to Brooklyn. That's what he wants. Like,
Or
enough said.
yeah, Brooklyn or
Or bust.
bust.
I
Yes.
don't know. Brooklyn or what? Or he stays? And he stays and maybe he'll request that he's not in the lineup. You
He
know, how's
and then he plays subpar.
yeah, yeah. Or just sits down and just or ends up playing a minimum amount of games just to guarantee his paycheck for the year.
So there's that desire for him to be reunited with Kevin Durant. Pero my question would be, if it did happen, for some reason the Nets pulled off a miracle and
Mm-hmm.
have a new big three. Do you see that dynamic working? You have a Kyrie Irving, you have a James Harden.
Okay, first is I think Harden's gonna have to play off ball more to accommodate KD and Kyrie. Because let's face it, Kyrie needs the ball. He has his magic. He's able to pull off things with his magic wand when he has the ball because he's a high scoring guard. I think what Harden's doing here, he's already resorted to somewhat ring chasing because okay, how many years already in Houston they keep falling short. Maybe he's tired of this advanced analytics where they just go
Mhm.
to the free throw line and just turn everyone into a catch and shoot because there's a lot of people who aren't just happy. They're simply becoming catch and shoot players.
yeah,
What happens to the other mechanics of the game? So when you go elsewhere, your stock goes down. That was a concern with Clint Capella. Okay, he's a good player, but that's because he fits the system of the Rockets perfectly. But but that's good. He was able to find a home in Atlanta.
yeah,
Yeah, but the bottom line, I think he's just kampihan eh. He was with Westbrook last time, and now he's gonna be with his other OKC teammate in Kevin Durant. And then may isa pang superstar, 'di ba?
give Harden a chance to get that ring. I think that's what he wants.
Yeah, he just wants the ring now because they're saying, "Oh, he can't do it." But at this stage, everyone's gonna be going, "Oh, Harden can't win a ring with
Yeah,
as the lead guy."
this
That's
if
right.
offensive exploits, he couldn't win it.
Yeah, on his own, he
So
can't win it on his own. So they're
yeah,
gonna try and do it with KD. Well, then again, I don't think Harden is gonna be exactly that number one option, right? I think end game you will go with KD.
I guess that's where the problem lies because you have a ball hog in Kyrie, you have a ball hog in Harden.
Yeah.
How do you have enough balls to distribute between the two of them? And you have a Kevin Durant that you have to satisfy in terms of his
And I
shot.
think that big
Yes,
three, that's a difficult big three.
KD's the alpha,
Yeah.
and well,
They're all alphas.
Yeah,
I think KD will be the alpha alpha.
mm,
I
Yeah.
want, you know what? I wouldn't want to be Steve Nash, right? I wouldn't want to be Coach Steve Nash. And, sevens. Maybe if they put this, well, he has the roster of the Phoenix Suns, right? I think Amari is also in his
As his staff.
assistant coach, and D'Antoni also, diba?
yeah, the Anthony will
Oh,
be assistant.
yeah. Imagine that. So they're gonna have that 7 seconds.
I know KD's.
At least,
So
yeah, if they'll have that, they'll have more possession, so everybody
Yeah.
is
So you
free.
don't know. It could work. It
and
could
at
work.
the end, Harden has to play with no center again.
Because,
And or
Yeah,
KD becomes the center.
yes.
funny you mentioned that. Yeah, funny you mentioned that. Okay, so if ever the Nets pulled off the trade, of course Houston will want something back. So Claro, being the Rockets guy, yeah. So
Usually
say
they
the
got
trade
problem.
happens. Harden was shipped off to Brooklyn. Who do you want back to Houston?
I don't think it's gonna happen. But just to keep it fair, Sana, Kyrie. But that's impossible.
Hmm.
Harden wants to join them, right? He doesn't want to get traded
Uh,
for Kyrie, for example. And Houston's exploding. So they're just giving away their assets. They gave away Robert Covington. Um, they're looking to rebuild and just pretty much start from scratch.
yeah, it's just Westbrook who's left.
Exactly. And I think Westbrook wants out also, right?
Westbrook wants out also.
Exactly. And I wouldn't like Westbrook to be the face of my favorite team. So
Yeah,
that's very hard.
I expect them to be on full rebuild.
Yeah, the Houston will be on full rebuild like that time where they used to have the likes of Lutherhead and company, naging lottery team. So I'm in it for that. Sad to say.
There's also speculation. I just heard it that Harden could go to the 76ers without trading Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid.
I wouldn't be surprised again because the Rockets are just exploding and letting everyone go. And what's with the connections? Daryl Morey's there
That's right.
with the Sixers, and then D'Antoni's in Brooklyn, their head coach last season.
That's right.
GM or coach who would win out.
And then wherever he goes, no, yun pala, going back. Man, he's not gonna have a big man. What if lang that happens? he can't he can't catch a break.
Yeah. But I wouldn't want Harden in my 76ers.
Yeah, because that will be my choice in 2K maybe if he ends up there. But
If
I think Harden needs to have his own team. Just give him his own team.
if for some reason he ends up with Philadelphia, then it would be Joel Embiid who would be unhappy because he would complain, I don't get enough touches because Harden is doing all the scoring. Even Seth Curry, parang worthless tuloy yung pagpunta niya sa
Right.
Philadelphia if you'll bring in another shooter
Right.
in James Harden.
That's true. Seth's role and value has gone up, so he's expected, to somewhat be a leader already,
Don't
Yeah.
and
touch the
not just
76ers now. I love them. I like their roster now. I like their lineup. Don't touch
yeah.
them.
Seth isn't just a filler, so Harden will wreck the dynamic.
Yeah.
If he only get his 3-point shooting,
Uh,
okay, that will work. But
yeah.
everything else, no, that's not gonna work in the equation.
So it's safe to say that Harden's days with the Rockets are numbered. Even Westbrook. So expect them to be like a full rebuild mode after this season. like they're going to demolish everything and
I
then
know,
start
right?
again. Yeah. Okay. So there's that with James Harden. And final topic going to discuss. So let's devote a few minutes for this. So the upcoming season is Giannis' last year in his contract with the Milwaukee Bucks. And as early as now, they are trying to make moves already to convince him to sign a longer deal, like Supermax 5 years. So they already got Drew Holiday, traded away George Hill and Eric Bledsoe,
Yes, they gave a lot. Yeah.
and they are trying to get Bogdan Bogdanovic, but that trade is still up in the air because the NBA is investigating if for some reason the sign and trade is still not happening, but
Mm.
they're still keen on getting Bogdan. So if ever they get Bogdan also, and now that they have Holiday, would that be enough to convince Giannis to sign a 5 year supermax deal?
I think it's an upgrade, but I don't think it's enough. You need to lure in a James Harden caliber superstar. I'm not saying Harden's gonna fit. Sorry, you
Doon
were
siya
saying?
pumunta.
Oh, doon siya pupunta. You don't know.
Let's see. I'm not saying it's gonna happen because I don't think he's gonna fit because okay, Giannis doesn't necessarily need the ball. He's not that ISO type of player. But let's see. But you need to attract a superstar to help Giannis. You don't get a superstar, then Giannis helps him
Yeah,
because
Mhm.
at the end of the day, it's his team.
it's his team.
So okay, maybe they got Holiday, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. We still need to see more. But I think Giannis, maybe it's a bit limited already. His time there.
He might move to Miami.
Who
Yes.
knows?
Yeah,
If there are speculation that it's either Golden State or Miami, but the Golden State move will depend on how James Wiseman will pan out.
that's true.
Yeah. So if they see that Wiseman is not who they think he would be as a prospect, then there's a possibility of signing the
Giannis,
Greek.
the Greek freak.
I was able to see like one social media update of tennis player Nick
Yeah,
Kyrgios,
the Australian.
the Australian, and also of Greek origin, and somehow
Yeah, that's cute.
there is this reference or like breadcrumb to say the least that Giannis is intently seeing his career moving or taking his talents to South Beach just like LeBron did. So yan. Pero the Harden dynamic, parang it's intriguing in Milwaukee. You don't see it happening, pero it makes sense eh.
Pero hindi bagay.
Hindi
Hard.
bagay eh. You just think of
Bagay.
Harden wearing a Bucks jersey and that
Yeah, it
doesn't look
doesn't
good
work.
anymore
It doesn't
from
work.
the get-go.
It doesn't work.
But those things happen. You see players wearing jerseys that they don't look good in.
Yeah, like LeBron and the Lakers. Well, yeah.
That's one. No, also, just to go unlock the time capsule, when Robert Ory was wearing a Spurs jersey, he looked so bad at first.
No, oy, no, but he did so well in the Spurs, huh?
He ended up looking good in it after a while.
Yeah,
He just
yeah,
looked bad for a while.
Just felt weird kasi he came
Yes.
to Houston, di ba?
yeah.
And then suddenly he's in the interstate rival Spurs.
You know,
Yeah. Oh, with Ori, he was even in the Lakers
Yeah.
before going to the Spurs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he ends up going to an interstate. I get you.
one because I'm biased with 76ers. Imagine if Bogdanovich went to the Sixers. Wow.
Oh, they got Danny Green already, so they seem
No.
to be set in that spot.
No, but imagine that if lang.
Instead, maybe.
Yeah.
Instead of Seth Curry, or they would
Instead of
have
Danny Green.
out.
Move Danny Green back to Sacramento. Move him back to California.
Move Danny
But he goes back to
That's like around the country. In
Yeah.
how many days?
Yeah, that's right.
clock is messed up. So because he's been going a lot of places. Oh, I thought I was going here, and then all of a sudden his cell phone rings. Oh, you're going here. So his body is messed up right now. Yeah. But final question is do you think Giannis will stay? In your honest opinion.
After this year, maybe no more. The
No more.
leash is getting short. Patience is growing short. Especially because he's not the first sibling to win a ring.
Yeah, he's gonna probably move to either Golden State or Miami.
Oh gosh, yeah.
My bet is Miami.
Yeah, he will join. He will make a super team
He will
and
make
will
a super team.
become. He will become a sidekick.
I put my faith in Miami because they have a solid management in Miami. A championship coach in Alex Polstra and President Pat Riley who can
Hmm.
Yeah,
the necessary things to make it happen.
and
So
there's a Greek lineage there too. I mean, like Eric Spo, Coach Spo is he's Greek, right? I mean, his
Yes, Greek roots.
yeah, he has
You're
Greek
saying,
roots. Yeah,
okay,
mhm.
diba? I mean, he's like half Filipino American and Spolstra's from Greece. Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. Just good thing you said the Filipino, because Filipino fans will go crazy and will call you out and saying, "No, supposed to Filipino." Diba? But
Yeah,
anyway, you said it. You're safe.
yeah, for like 25% or less.
Something like that. Yeah. But if the Bucks don't pick up the hardware, I think Giannis will form a super team. And now that you mentioned, he looks good in the Miami Vice jerseys.
Oh,
Giannis, I imagine it.
Mm. It's a great looking jersey per
Yeah.
yeah,
se.
I love it. Yeah.
Put him in there, makes looks it even better.
Okay. So jersey perspective, check. And maybe fitting in. Pwede rin, no?
Culture check.
Yeah.
Whether
Because suppose turnover rates of coaches can get high. But
Mm.
Spo's been in Miami, and you can call that a lifetime of coaching already. He's been there for a long, long time, right?
the
Almost 15 years,
longest
maybe?
tenured
Is he?
Longest tenured?
like after Popovich. So Popovich,
Ah, yeah.
him,
Mm.
and then I guess Rick Carlisle or like Carlisle 2 and then Spolster 3. But I
But
guess
he's getting up there. Yeah.
and he has
Uh,
the
yeah,
title to go for too,
yeah.
and finals appearance in the bubble, which nobody expected,
That's
and
true.
then put
Also, yeah. Let me check, father. I'm checking the lineage
Of Spo?
of Spo. John Spolstra. Yeah, I think he's from Greece. I think the father is.
So my Greek roots then.
Yeah, yeah. Cause see, where does the Spolstra family name come from?
I don't know, but again,
sounds
it's
Greek.
very it's very diverse in the USA, right?
Huh? But from what I read, he is that.
Since
Anyway,
Anyway, so
yeah.
yeah, we're betting on the fact that Giannis for next season or for 2021-2022 will be in the Miami Vice jersey. But
as provided they don't win the chip.
provided they don't win the chip, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
big if. Yeah. Anyway, so um, so there's that prediction, but as we all know, there's a lot of things that can happen from now up until the start of the NBA season. And even while it progresses up until the trade deadline, a lot of things can happen. Players can move from one roster to another. And even though we claim to be experts in NBA basketball, the truth of the matter is we are not. But
Mhm.
with our experience, with the constant watching, and of course, just tracking moves here and there, so we can predict where this person will land or where he is best fit. But despite all of our claim, despite all of our statements with the draft picks, the dark horses, and where players are best suited, at the end of the day, we can still say that who the heck are we?
Woohoo! I hope the NBA people hear this. All right.